welcome back to World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, Classic Blind. Sounds like things are happening again. What? What is it? Mal'Ganis! Coleus Stratholm! Again! We discussed after the end of last episode that we really should have me check what the daily is going to be each time, because my RNG is way better. How? How is it Coleus Stratholm? 3 out of 4 times. I mean, the normal daily? What's the normal daily?
What can I do for you?
Agents of Time.
Or the Alliance.
From the Coleus Stratholm.
Be careful.
My goodness. My goodness. Alright. Well, we still have one more hope. We still have one more hope for what we might get extra rewards for doing here. It's almost a conspiracy at this point. We've completed the Culling of Stratholm. That's the only one. There was a 12 out of 13 chance of us getting a different dungeon last time. There was a 12 out of 13 chance of us getting a different dungeon this time. Sure. Even the Trial of the Champion would have been fine, because we still have the achievement for that. Okay. And now, can we get the trifecta of nonsense and have the TBC Heroic Daily be Shattered Halls, and also the regular daily? There's every chance that it happens. Honestly, wouldn't even be surprised. Okay. Where is the guy for this? He's like over this way somewhere. I don't think we ever went and grabbed the TBC heroics or anything. Daily quest guy over here. Okay. Alright. So, we got this guy and this guy. What are we thinking? Object. I'm going to bring them to me. Seek more on that which I look to procure. Well, he doesn't have a quest for us. But what about this guy? An order is whispered upon the nether winds, and Mandoon hears. Man comes before Mandoon, and they speak of those which the winds demand be slain today. Wanted, Sunseeker Channelers, low level. Let's see here. Channelers, a military unit known as the Sunseekers, was to kill today. They found within the Botanica at Tempest Keep. You want the bounty? You kill the Channelers. This sucker Nude wants you to kill 6 Sunseeker Channelers, return to Shatter's Lower City, sell lie dead, or in order to collect the bounty. Can access the old daily heroic. And all that's left is normal. Yeah. Weird. You would think that would be more important. Unlocks Ethereum prisons. Oh, that's about. I mean, we still get 9 gold, I guess. It's something. I guess Botanica then. Yeah, you would think the... I mean, he talks about it like it would be a thing. Weird. And it's not like we accepted a different daily heroic dungeon or anything. Botanica. Well, we got quests in Botanica, so I guess we'll take it. Right, let's grab the quest here we need to do. About the capturing the keystone. This is for Archmage Vargoth. Very good. Botanica. crack that one. And also 1/2 of the how to break into the Architraves. So that's good. Other half of that is in the Mechanar, which, honestly, not a huge surprise. Well, let us head that way then. It's interesting that you don't have the daily heroics here. I would think that would make it slightly more difficult to get more of the TBC heroic emblem business. I don't know. Let's align ourselves to get to over there. Okay. So yeah, we're not doing very well getting the emblems of triumph here, are we? That's the right one. Looks the fanciest. Oh, Valor also looks pretty fancy, but I don't know about that one. They're all purple. At a certain point, when everything's purple, if it's rare and high level, kind of gets to be all the same. Anyways, we gotta go all the way over here. And maybe, depending on how long things take, maybe we do both of these dungeons here and get that key going. But, yeah, it's wild. It's wild around here. At this rate, we are going to run out of TBC dungeons. But I guess that's fine, too. We can always not do the daily heroic. That's also an option. But it is what it is. Okay, here is the Botanica. Went to the Mechanar first. Might be going there after. These dungeons look very, very similar. And that's okay. Alright, let's get everything switched here into the tank set. Equip the tank. And then also get the correct talents going. Very important, very helpful. There we go. Have some food. I don't know if we used the potions last time. It's probably unnecessary, but I mean, we're here. Might as well. Do the best we can. Makes this all work out. Oh yeah, a lot of health. Look at all that health. Very tasty. And strength potion. That is battle elixir. Then we have cooldown. Guardian elixir. And defensive stance. And we're also talking about how we can put other abilities on here too. Like charge. That should work also. We don't have a huge amount of space for this, but it's here. I guess we don't actually need shoot in this setup. And then also I think we're gonna have the improves intercept. The resets intercept one. Intervene. Total threat? No. It's not gonna be in the defensive stance, I wouldn't think. Rend, overpower. Recklessness? No, that's berserker stance. I mean, it's in here somewhere. There's intercept, and then there's the one that increases intercept. First, short fury. Eh. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Let's get in while the getting is good here. We got all of our stuff going. Hey, we got Florida Shrimp guy here. And we're gonna get a bunch of loot. I'm not gonna worry about looking at in the loot. We'll just get it if we get it. Vigilance. That'll be good too. And intervene. Vigilance. And if you use the group mana, reducing damage taken by 3%. And transfers threat. Very good. Well, that'll do nicely. Leave. Taking a bit of damage. That's alright. And we get that going too. Again, we can't use our that. Because this is not a level 80 dungeon. Look at all these guys. My goodness. I don't think these big golden guys could like bleed or anything. That's not the main problem here. I was going to attack. These guards over here are just kind of chilling. And charge generates rage, actually. That's pretty good. Maybe we want that instead of intercept. The intercept does damage. Costs a little bit of rage, does some damage. That's okay. One thing we might want to be more careful of is what did you call them? Patrols. I guess we don't need to worry about it too much, realistically. I'm sure we'll be fine. Look at all these things. Some guys on the bridge here.
I can't do that yet.
I guess we can charge in when we don't have the intervene ready to go. That's good. Forge Tempest. Peacekeeper. Codex Prayer of Fortitude for only for priests. Amazing. You. We're getting a reputation for some things here. That's good. Seem to be getting all these other guys are like running off a different direction. Not ideal start. All the Blood Falcons. Not generally what you want. Having Blood Falcons running all over the place. Look at all these guys. I got plenty of AoEs happening here. the commander there.
I can't do that yet.
Deal with everybody else before we worry about the commander. Probably a solid plan. Schematic healing potion injector. Alright. Here is Commander with 150,000 health there.
Step forward.
Alright. Some more Sunders. Yeah, devastate. Goodbye. There's his Mystic Sheen. Those resistances. Fancy. Alright. Oh, there's some loot on this guy. And there's a Badge of Justice. That is something. Anyways. Continuing on in the Botanica here. Oh, these guys. Yeah, I got some little plants here too. This restores mana. That's great. And some you. We got more friends. That's great. And some back. And you. Plenty of guys here. That's for sure. We need to get the channelers at some point here. Some more guys are attacking. They got pulled over from the other side there. Generally, you don't want extra groups getting pulled. But in this situation, it's not a huge deal. Well, that's some numbers. Goodness.
I don't have a target.
Some AoE was happening there. My goodness. That'll do nicely. Look at all these lasher brutes we're getting. Delightful. Okay. Last guy doesn't want to come over? It's fine. They are free to stand over there. That's fine. Not that they're going to last long either way. Hi, botanist right there. Just chilling. Hey there.
What are you doing? These specimens are very delicate.
What are you doing? Kicking your butt.
Specimens must be preserved.
Oh, the socket's on that. Amazing. Very good. Very good. Yeah, we're just making our way through the Botanica here. Another set of these guys. Amazing.
I need a target.
Yeah, it's not doing too great for them. We're gonna have a whole bunch of plant stuff to just go sell somewhere. It's gonna be great. That's gonna be fantastic. Who's next? Another vine. Signer here. Here's the channelers. That's what we're looking for. Anything here?
Not ready yet.
I got some more guys coming. Yeah, there. How you doing? Oh, it's stuck there. Yeah, this came over to say hello. And that was some of the channelers we needed for the quest we're doing. That's very good. A bunch of guys here.
Not ready yet.
Gonna charge in here. Gonna cleave in. Gonna blast in. Them. There's another channeler. Very good. And it. Some of that. Some of that. Some of that. Some of that. Channeler eventually shows up. And that is all the channelers needed for the data quest. Here is Thorgrim the Tender. Okay. Oh, we're gonna die, huh? Ready for revenge here. We won't get far, huh? Ruined Dagger of Soulless. We can look at what all these things look like, too. That'll be good. Okay. So, who are we looking for exactly for getting the key here? We're into the Botanica. This is the calculator in the Mechanar. And Warp Splinter. That's what we're looking for. Alright. What are these guys? Weapon defense stance. We'll use it after the warrior blocks, dodges, or parries an attack. Alright. Well, that should happen fairly frequently. Us block dodging or parrying an attack. I'm not too worried about that. What are all these guys? And that. We're just making our way through here. With great speed. Now there's something here. Grabbing all of the loot for an entire dungeon with only 2 people. We definitely come away with quite a bit. This reminds me of the times when we did solo dungeons and just filled the inventory with stuff. It's pretty great. Look at all this mess. These mutate horrors. Not Not generally what you want. Nothing here.
I need to target something.
These guys. Here we go. Loot. And all these. You take orders. Not generally what you want. Not generally what you want. There is a big plan. Amazing. Let's say, I don't know. That. Flash. Or plan. That's over here. I feel like you got on top of this or something there. Wild. Mysterious fire opal. Amazing. And some boots. Cool. We're making our way through here. Pretty effectively. And shouldn't be too much of a surprise. 10 levels and at least acceptable gear. That's pretty good. There's a fun little pathway here. In Botanica. Look at all these guys. And they're dead. We're gonna have so many bits of plant. Fantastic. Ideal. Charge over here. There. Yeah, that does pretty good. Looks like we got some pants from the plants. That's pretty great. Here's Warp Splinter. That's the guy we were talking about in the quest. Alright, very good. Alright, Warp Splinter. Get some Sunders. Revenge is always a nice time. And we're a little stunned there. Can't attack while stunned. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Confused. I'm not
Boom.
here.
Heroic, the Botanica. Boots. And okay. And a primal nether. And a sword. But most importantly, the top of the Archer's key. There you go. And we got the Botanica? Really? Have we never done Botanica before? I guess not. I had talked about possibly going to the Botanica. We went to Magister's Terrace instead that day. So let's quickly look around the Botanica here. Had a lot of plants, as expected. This is a nice room. This big ant guy. And plenty of loot for sure. Very cool. We can definitely tell by the fact that we got the Botanica as an achievement there. That's the first time we were here. So that might be all TBC dungeons that we've been to. These nice hedges. Amazing. Yeah, just a handful of rooms basically. Ever since Classic, a lot of the dungeons have been pretty linear. Might be interesting to get back out there at some point. See the more involved multipathing dungeons and all that. In this room we had a bunch of guys getting attacked by mechs. They probably made the horrors in this while trying to do experiments. And it went as expected. And the Plants are attacking. Seems like further in here they were having more problems. In the Botanica. In the Botanica, plants going crazy and attacking. And experimentation. You know, all these different plant species here. Working on it. Looking at stuff. Not anymore, they're not. They're all dead. And here they got even more kinds of plants and crystals and things. They got a lot of different options in here. Lots of stuff they're working on. So they have just a very small chunk of the bottom. That's working. Nice and spiky in here. Very, very botanical. No huge surprises there. Then this way. Got big old power crystals. Really large tree right there. Oh yeah. Yeah. Very good. Junction shot's good if we need to get a bunch of stuff on us. Taunt. It's aggro. It's good too. Generate health. Summons and rage effects. Okay. Just a handful of spots where you fight some bosses. Can you fall down in there? Hopefully not. Would not be particularly helpful to fall into things like that. You never know. Where are these used? Well, it works in Tempest Keep, the Eye, the Alcatraz, the Botanica, the Mechanar. Inhale deeply. Alright. Not too big of a deal here. I think I'm more like weapon racks and stuff. This is more of the combat area. The experimenting takes place further into the Botanica. Alright. Yeah, that was pretty easy, all things considered. And pretty quick. So I think we can head over to the Mechanar also here. Might as well. Might as well. Went over here. It's kind of like around. Now like a big statue here. It's not really the path. Over that way. Yeah, these are all just flying ships here too. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Alright. And a little bit more. Oh, you can take this plant here. Amazing. Another place where you hopefully couldn't fall in there. There's definitely a lot of invisible walls stopping you from jumping out of the dungeon in Wrath. So presumably you're still not allowed to do that kind of thing here. Overall, a dungeon. Some cool stuff. Lots of rooms and things happening. Yeah. One thing we need to actually make sure we get this done here today is that we have the key to be able to go into the Alcatraz. Because if we can't get in there, it's not going to help very much when we try to do the daily in there. Still disappointed we couldn't get the heroic daily. It's weird that's not a thing. I guess we're still getting some stuff. I'm gonna go sell some things. I still got space. My inventory is surprisingly clean. Mostly since we sold a bunch of stuff and it's all working. I'm also trying to use this at some point. Increase parry rating. Don't need to. There's a lot of stuff we don't need to do here. That's okay. Okay. The Mechanar. Got all of our buffs going. Still shielding here. What's that? Vigilance. How long does this last? 30 minutes. 21 time. It doesn't survive going through portals either. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. Alright. Yeah, spinning around. What are these forge vans here? Just keep on walking over. Oh, thanks for all coming over here. Very convenient of you. Oh, they're calling for help. That's what's happening. Oh, they're not going to get much help. Turns out. Okay. So we kind of have two paths around here in the Mechanar. That's okay.
Not ready yet.
And you. And you. Yeah, when we are walking out, we'll deal with that. Noise protector. It's fine. Good. Scroll protection, sure. Keep on heading in. Stunning some guys. All working out. Most likely, we're just going to need to go to the last boss in here. Now we're on this side. He predicts a painful death. Yeah, for him, maybe. Maybe it shouldn't be announced that you're gonna have a painful death here. That's just me.
Foreseen contingency.
Yeah.
Not ready yet.
All these guys in here. Trying to call for help again. So that goes for him.
Not ready yet.
Well, there's no one around to get help from. Shame about that. He's going. And you. We're gonna have so much loot. It's gonna be great. We're just charging ahead. Here's the elevator. That's fine. Getting stunned is not the best. Not the best time. So, around this way. Here's this guy. These guys are more range, which is definitely more awkward. Try to get all tanked up. take together. Would be one of the times where you would want to potentially consider going around a wall. Because then you could just go. And we're all stuck better. Not a huge problem either way here. Here's some guys. Engineers. Tinkerers. Loop for days. Loop for days. There it is. Lord Capasicus. Let's see if we can get him over here. Don't really need to fight him right next to all those other guys over there. We could, honestly. We don't need to. We got a decent chunk of health there. Alright, grab another guy. That's fine. He gives it an AoE range. We can just use some more cleaves. Raises his hammer menacingly. Rather you didn't. Decent amount of health. Yeah, there's a guy in here. I'm fine. Good. Bigger. This thing's smaller.
Calculations.
Arc Engineer, Prismatic Chain. Okay. Negative charge. Negative charge allies. Alright. Very good. And I'll cleave. Everybody's dead.
Not ready yet.
Charge in here. Oh, he's range, guys. Very rude. Oh, armament. Yep. Oh. Cache of Legion key by command giant blue crystal and giant red crystal. Oh, we got the giant blue crystal. Create a cache of the Legion key. Oh, we got a key now. It's in the key box. It's never keys though, so whether we can actually get to it is another question. I'm gonna open up something over here too. Hopefully it's the kind of key we can just open without having to mess with anything. Cache of the Legion. See if we can find anything that looks like a cache of the Legion. Switch here. This is definitely going well enough. You can find anything that looks like cache of the Legion. Open that up, maybe. Could be something. Could also be nothing. Entirely possible. What our reputation's gonna be with everything. We're definitely getting more. Always good. Yeah. Flying through here, basically. It's all working. Just need to find. Where's that key? We're at the entrance to the dungeon. I guess we went around. That's fine. Back in we go. Yeah. So we cleared out all those guys. So our exit's going to be fantastic. The Mechanar. Yeah, there's the elevator. That could be the next spot. Alright, let's head that way. Oh, there is a Cache of the Legion requires Cache of the Legion key. Yep, that's what we have. What a wild looking chest they have here. They come together with energy. Bloodfire Robes of Annihilation. Neat. Interesting. It's a fun little extra chest kind of thing. Alright. Having to wait for the elevator. Hilarious. Can't auction that. It's unfortunate. Oh, the elevator. There we go. And up we go. Okay. Who's next? Tempest Forge Destroyer. Got a decent amount of health. Aggro here. Okay. Should probably clear out all the various guys here first. Probably be a beneficial idea. Stunned. Generally don't want to be stunned. Not a good time. Guys over there, guys over here. Hey everybody. Would you like to get some? Yeah, we have to run here. Nice little knockback there. Always a good time. And the Mancer is up there. Alright. A little fire elementals there. Wild. Yeah, quite a few fire elementals. Good for you. Flame elementals. He's kind of focused on the boss. That worked. And some more badges of justice. Amazing. Eh. Don't think that's how you're supposed to do that. Yeah, it works. We got all these fire elementals. Should probably worry about that. I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay. Oh, look at all these guys. Oh, lots of guys coming. There's another thing. How'd you like to not? Huh? Ever considered just not? I prefer it if you didn't. Here's the next bunch. Yes, keep on coming in. It's definitely. Oh, are we incredibly small? We're currently incredibly small. Alright, sure. Just keep on sending waves of guys at us. My goodness. My goodness. Alright. Here's some more guys. That's it. 2. I got this guy. Charge fist at us. Yeah, to get this little stun. Not generally what you want. Scrolls, things, guys. Shockwaves and Cleavin and Blaston. I've been waiting for you. Says on the calculator. Alright. Let's see if the wait was worth it then. He's waiting for us.
We are on a strict timetable. We will not interfere.
I think we're gonna do a bit of interfering. There's some more all that going, I guess. Heroic, the Mechanar. And a whole pile of stuff. And this. Bottom shard of the Architrave's key. Amazing. Alright. We've already been in the Mechanar before, so that's just the heroic portion. So, let's quickly go over all the loot here. And we can cross both of these off the list here. We did the Mechanar and oh, not the Architrave's. The Botanica. Mechanar, Botanica. Yeah, we still need to do the other trials in other places. Okay. We have the key pieces here too, though. Let's go over all this loot, see if there's anything we want to keep. Unlikely, in general. What have here? Cloth head with 27. Nope. We can look at all the things here too. Why not? We got that. We got the keystone quest item. Got a pattern there. Got a staff, nothing special. Gem thing. 27 on the feet. Nope. Looks like that. Beast Lord Furnace. Pretty interesting chest plate there. Matches nicely with the pants we have on this. Got some filaments. 15 stamina thrown weapon. Okay. Helm of the Righteous. It's got a lot going on. It's part of the Righteous set. And Tunic of Assassination. Very cool. And a Primal Nether. So we can get some of these disenchanted here. So basically we want to trade over anything that is not behind an equip here. Can't disenchant that. It's nothing special. Some on feet disenchant. Oh, these are. This one's soulbound. Is it? I guess it's soulbound to us as a group. So that's actually fine. So we got this necklace, the helmet, and the chest. Yeah, we'll go through all the stuff here and get the bits sold and stuff. That should be good. Void crystals, very fun. This is definitely going to be high value. Definitely want to sell kind of bits here. Put some stuff around. Arcane dust, void crystals, large Spanish shards. Yeah. That'll be good. Also got a primal nether. Very good. Yeah, loop that all back around. Turn to Archmage Vareth, the Violet Tower. Turn to Nether Sucker, Dune in the Terracar Forest. And return to Adult. Okay. And we can also sell some junk over here. Could be a solid plan. Just coming out of the dungeon. Selling some berries and stuff. Can't even just sell these to these guys. That's unfortunate. Sell that. Gray. Gem that can't be auctioned. Spell power and spell penetration. No. Non-tradable. Yeah. That. Sell the water. Gray. I don't actually anticipate these scrolls are going to sell for that much. You never know. Decaying chest, corroded this, broken that. Let's head to Archmage Vareth. See if this keystone is what he needs to get out of the tower here. Entirely possible. And we need to return to Anachronist, Dune, and Terracar Forest. That's exactly where that was. I think he is that way. Up here. Let's turn this in. We're still cursed in here, which is not ideal, obviously. Trying to solve that here. You really could make these staircases differently, but it gets the job done. You get to the top eventually. You kind of clip through the ceiling. That's alright too. Alright.
King's honor, friend.
Capturing the keystone.
Go with honor, friend.
Did you obtain the keystone? Yep.
Light bless you.
The Archmage's eyes light up when you hand him the stone. Amazing. From what little I've seen of the fate of Farallone, I'm not certain I want to go outside, but it's much better than being trapped here for the rest of my days.
For the Alliance.
So I guess you did it.
Need help?
So where's my room with the cursed anti-year? You can find me here.
Go with honor.
I mean, you can leave now, presumably. Well, have fun escaping if you feel like it. We still have his staff here too. That's probably fine. So, no follow-up there. But we got him the keystone. He's happy. Or whatever. Yep. Angered. What else in there? Yeah, compared to the heroic dungeon guy, he's not particularly threatening. That's okay. Alright. Now we need to go where we were going for this. We're going to Architravis. Cover the Town Keystone. Bring back to a doll. I guess this, by Terracar Forest, they actually mean Shatrath. Well, they could have just said that. That'd be fine. Let's go over the rest of the stuff here, make sure we actually have things we can sell. The cloth seems like a pretty good sellable set. The arcane tomes are only sellable. highly doubt this is actually going to be worth that much. Maybe. Got some scrolls. Have a little bit of value. Felt ornaments. Some free signets. And some marks. Yeah, some of these in our bank too. Probably sell those, be fine. But overall, very solid. Just gonna be a little bit of extra money for turning in this quest. I don't know if it's extra. Probably just gonna be extra money since it's just a regular daily dungeon. Yeah, Ethereum Prison Key unlocks Ethereum prisoners. I don't know about that. Either way. Yeah, 2 dungeons out here. Definitely doable. Especially if they're right next to each other. And we still have 7 more minutes left on the potions. Either way. I'd say that's pretty good. I think these are technically auctionable, but I highly doubt anybody actually wants them. Not many people are going to be heading to Tempest Keep for much reason. You never know. Never know. It can't even be sold to a vendor. Wild. Well, that's okay. Here's the shards for the Architraz key. That'll do very nicely. Yeah, this also is going to cut down on our number of quests here too. Also get to choose some other things. Amazing. Key to the Architraz. Well, that's the Architraz satellite of Tempest Keep. Well, that is good. It'll be very helpful to actually be able to get in there. Assuming that's still a requirement. I don't know. It's probably fine. Heal. Don't really need to heal. Do more blocking. Last stand. This is definitely easier on the scale of tanking things. We are getting the full tank experience out here. Just kind of going through it, doing our best. So we got an Ethereum Prison Key. Don't know what that does. Apparently it might be tradable, but it's also just on the keyring, which I can't see with this. Well, that's okay. I'm not too worried about that key and all the dozens of other keys that I have on the keyring. It's okay. How to break in. Bell's voice vibrates melodically through your mind. You have returned. You're bringing with you the 2 shards of the Architraz key. Yep. I am impressed, Eric Erickson, but I should expect nothing less of the hero who returned the Etamal crystal to us. Give over the 2 shards, and I will see to it that they are combined into their final form. Then you'll have access to the Architraz. Fantastic. What do we got here? Got some stuff. That's actually a better cape. That'd actually be an upgrade for the smart set. 25 on the waist. Nope. Agility and stuff. Even worse on the waist. And a plate waist. So we'll take the cloak here. 27 is better than 19. Also, we get 14 gold and the key. There you go. Harbinger of Doom. The score note can be detected in Atel's voice. When Scaletas has chosen his warden poorly, now the entities that we kept locked up within the Architraz are breaking free. One in particular, a servant of the old gods, known as Harbinger Skyrus, seeks to usher in his master's vision of conquering all of the worlds in the universe. Garrison, you must not allow him to escape. Return to Tempest Keep. Enter the Architraz and slay Harbinger Skyrus before it's too late. I guess that is another dungeon we still haven't done out here. This one should be the last one. Yeah, now we have a new quest for right over there. And the new cape looks like... pretty good. I'll take it. In a literal sense, I am currently taking it. New back. Very good. There you go. Go put that in the bank at some point. Guess we could pop over to Ironforge. Since we're here. Which one's the portal Ironforge? There it is. Might as well. Just deal with a dungeon's worth of loot at a time here. Or, I mean, in a sense, an entire dungeon's worth of loot. Since we got half of 2 dungeons. That adds up to 1. I'm gonna throw all this in there. I think we put a much lower price on this though. Healing Potion Injector Engineering Recipe. Yeah. Could be something. Yeah. I'm gonna just throw all this in here. Not show until next update. There we go. Yeah, we got an idea what's going on. Stacks of 1. 4 stacks of 1. Go for it. Here's a Void Crystal. Amazing. A couple Arcane Dust. Not a huge amount of these in here. Primal Nether. Nether Weave Cloth. In many stacks. Arcane Tomes. It's more like a reputation kind of thing. Let's go your price. 30? I don't know. And scrolls are unimpressive. Let's try this one. A bit low. Yeah, it's fine. Well, strength. Good. Got some of these in the bank still? Yes, we do. We can probably just get rid of all those too. What's those? Maybe. We've got the key. I guess it's not, like, technically a key since it's not in the keys line. Yeah, some of these on here. Go for it. Ah. We'll grab the rest of these out of the bank. I'll just cape in. So this is vendor. And also see what all is coming through the auction house. We really don't need those at this point. Carry offerings. Anything else in here we could sell? Potentially. That's fine for now. Stock back up on that.
Watch your back.
What do we got in here? Yeah, decent amount of stuff sold. What do we got? Got a lot of the Eternal Waters back. Unfortunate. And also one of the Primal Nether. I just tried to sell another one of those. So. Database errors galore. And these aren't selling. Put these in again. Sell. This other Primal Nether. Crystallized Shadow. Slightly cheaper price. That checks out. Separate auctions. Stacks of 1 for that. And Eternal Waters. Stack of 1 for that. Yeah, the Sculpin don't seem to be. It seems to be too thrilled about Sculpin. It's like 12 copper put in here though, so whatever. Yeah, there's better well-fed buffs you can get than that. Can't be too surprised. I'll try some of these. Some felt ornaments. Stacks of 1. Why not? And Marks and Sargeras. 2 stacks of 10. Post the lot. Okay. Then we can put these in a store, this in the bank. I guess we can put this in the bank, grab the other cave that's in here, and put that in the store.
You got my attention.
This is soulbound with 19 intellect. This is soulbound with 27 intellect. There you go. We haven't taken this out, so it's getting partially parts that haven't been actually said to be in the set. It's all right there. It's very noticeable. I'm not too worried about it. And so, another pile of stuff put up for auction and all that.
Well met.
Sell these cheap scrolls, keep that, and keep.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Doing pretty good on money, all things considered. With all the things we put up for auction there, I'm gonna have 9,000 gold. It's very nice. Somebody already bought one of our Eternal Waters. Amazing. Okay. So, can we go three times in a row for Colonist Stratholm? Four times in a row? It's wild stuff. Anyways, turn that off for now. So now we have one more dungeon out there that has a quest, which is great. Very good. I think we already had other quests that were there too, so this will do just fine. Maybe we'll get to another beta dungeon next time. Goodbye.